At 45 years old, Sarah Mitchell felt like a shadow of the woman she used to be. There was a time when she was vibrant, the kind of woman whose laughter filled a room, whose energy could lift everyone around her. But somewhere between raising two children, managing a home, and holding her life together, that spark began to fade. Her life had become an endless checklist. Wake up early, get the kids ready, answer work emails, make dinner, fold laundry, repeat. There was no space left for herself, only exhaustion hidden beneath forced smiles. She used to take care of her body, dress up, feel confident. But lately, the mirror had become her enemy. Bit by bit, she gained weight, and with every pound, she lost a little more confidence, a little more joy. Her energy vanished, replaced by a constant feeling of being drained. At first, she told herself it was just stress, then that it was age. But deep down, Sarah knew it was more than that. She was disappearing, not just physically, but emotionally. Her husband, John, noticed the change. He tried to comfort her, telling her she was still beautiful. But those words only made her ache inside. She didn't feel beautiful. She didn't feel like herself. Their marriage started to drift into silence. The small touches, the playful smiles, the deep talks before bed, they slipped away quietly. They weren't fighting, but they weren't connecting either. They were just surviving side by side. Her friends reached out often, brunches, coffee dates, little invitations that she used to love. But each time, Sarah found an excuse. I'm busy, I'm tired, maybe next week. In truth, she couldn't stand sitting next to them, comparing, pretending. They looked alive. She just felt invisible. One morning, everything caught up to her. She was rushing to get ready while the kids argued over breakfast. Without thinking, she grabbed her favorite jeans, the pair she had worn on an anniversary trip years ago. She tried to pull them on, tugging, holding her breath, forcing the zipper, until the button popped off and flew across the room. That tiny sound shattered her. She froze, and then she sat down on the edge of her bed and cried. The kind of deep, trembling cry that no one else hears. The kind that carries years of exhaustion, guilt, shame, and frustration. Her daughter Emma knocked gently on the door. Mom, are you okay? Sarah wiped her face and forced a smile. I'm fine, sweetie. Don't worry. But she wasn't fine. She was tired of pretending to be. A few days later, she went to her doctor for a routine checkup. The results were sobering. High cholesterol, borderline pre-diabetic, blood pressure on the rise. The doctor looked her in the eye and said softly, Sarah, it's not too late, but you need to start taking care of yourself. Now, on the drive home, she cried quietly, gripping the steering wheel so hard that her knuckles turned white. It wasn't just about weight anymore. It was about who she had become. That night, long after everyone had gone to bed, Sarah sat in the dim light of her phone, scrolling through social media. That's when she stumbled upon a story, a woman her age who had been stuck in the same pain, the same exhaustion, and somehow turned it all around. The woman spoke not about dieting or chasing perfection, but about finding energy again. Sarah didn't believe it right away, but something inside her stirred. The idea of having the energy to simply want more out of life that felt powerful. For the first time in years, she whispered to herself, maybe I can do this too. The next morning, Sarah started small. She went for a walk, just 1 block at first. Her feet hurt, her body was stiff, her mind full of doubts, but when she came home, she felt a flicker of pride. She did it again the next day, and again the day after that. She began to eat better, move more, sleep earlier. Her body resisted at first, but her spirit didn't. And though she didn't talk about it to anyone, she'd also started taking something that helped her, something that gave her a gentle push of energy, enough to get her out of that heavy fog she'd been living in. It wasn't a miracle. It didn't fix her life overnight, but it gave her momentum. Weeks turned into months. The walks grew longer. The fatigue faded. Sarah started noticing little changes. Her jeans fit better, her posture straighter, her smile more frequent. The woman she thought she'd lost was beginning to reappear. Her children noticed it first. "Mom, you look happy," Emma said one afternoon with a grin. Then John did. One evening at dinner, after months of quiet distance, he looked at her across the table and said, "You seem different, lighter, like you again." Sarah smiled, shyly at first, but inside, she felt something powerful awaken. She hadn't just changed her routines, she was changing her life. In the mirror, she no longer looked for flaws. She searched for progress, for strength, for herself. The reflection staring back wasn't perfect, but she was alive again. Months later, Sarah realized she had not only lost weight, but also gained something much more meaningful: her confidence, her marriage, her laughter, her energy. For years, she thought happiness came from fixing everything on the outside. But the truth was, it started the moment she decided she deserved to care about herself again. People often ask her what her secret was, what made the difference after years of frustration. Sarah always smiles softly and says, "The real change didn't start when I lost weight. It started the day I stopped giving up on myself." At 45, Sarah Mitchell didn't reinvent who she was. She rediscovered her strength, rebuilt her heart, and found her way back to the woman she was always meant to be. And if you meet her today, she'll tell you the same thing she tells everyone who feels stuck, lost, and tired. It's never really too late. You just have to find the energy to try one more time. Because the day Sarah found that energy, that spark, was the day she came back to life.